I am officially a full-time content creator, and I thought to celebrate the occasion, my first video officially full-time would be to answer 100 of your questions about anything. How long have you been editing? I've been making content for about 10 years, and as soon as I started making content, I had to edit my own content. But I've been editing more professionally for about 7 years. How old are you? I am 24. Do you edit for Keeoh full time? Yes, I edit for Keeoh full time. How did you meet Keeoh? He tweeted looking for an editor. One of my friends, Robin DeHood, tagged me in a reply to the tweet, and I hit his DMs. How do we get the opportunity to edit for big streamers like you? A lot of it is just putting in a lot of time and work into what you're doing and to make sure that you have a nice portfolio of a couple edits ready to go. But a lot of it is also just the luck of the draw of seeing somebody that's looking for an editor. How does your family feel about you making the move to content creation full time? They're all very supportive of me making this transition. My mom is naturally a little bit nervous, just like I am, honestly. What were the 3 biggest factors you had to consider before committing to full-time creation? This has definitely been the dream, and everything I've been doing in the past few years, and especially the past like 6 months, has just been a non-stop grind to try to make content creation happen. So the second that it was even a possibility that I would be able to make my full-time income through editing for Keeoh, it wasn't even a question. I just knew that I had to leap on it. What did you do before you went full-time content creation? I was actually a videographer at a factory that builds wind turbines. So I would make safety videos, training videos, and the occasional promotional video. When did you know you wanted to be a content creator? I didn't really know what I was doing with my life, and then I started making YouTube videos in high school, and ever since then it's just been everything that I've cared about and literally pretty much everything that I've done in the past like 10 years. What did you want to do before you started creating content? Graphic design, and that was originally what I was gonna go to college for, but I got talked into just doing a general degree at the community college instead of the graphic design degree. That led to me taking some video courses, and the rest is history. Do you make content of your own? Yes, I've been making content for about 10 years, like I've mentioned a couple times. What kind of content do you make? I post like music videos that I shoot, short films, little edits and challenges and stuff like that. I also do content that's just kind of like full entertaining, like the chip video, if you guys saw that one. I make all kinds of different stuff. I don't know. Subscribe if you want to know more. You make music? That's one of my favorite hobbies that I've kind of developed over the past about year, pretty much since COVID is when I started making music, and I absolutely love it. Do you stream? Yes, I stream a lot. I stream all kinds of different stuff. I've been playing a lot of Valorant lately. I also play Among Us, Minecraft. I'm kind of a variety gamer kind of person, and then I also stream stuff like music production, video editing. Sometimes I even shoot behind the scenes of some of my YouTube videos and short films and stuff like that, and I'm live pretty much every day. How long have you been making content? About 10 years. Why do you like editing? I like being able to take something that is already good and just accentuate the things that make it good. How long does it take to edit Keeoh's videos? So this largely depends on how much content there is to edit. Something like the Sky speedrun finale was about 40 hours of content, so that took a really long time to edit. Most videos are around 2 to 3 hours of content, and they take anywhere from 4 to about 8 hours to edit, just depending on how much I need to do, how many markers I have to go through, and everything like that. What should I do to try and finish videos faster? The more keyboard shortcuts and the more you can learn to do with just the keyboard, the faster you're gonna be, because every time you move that mouse across the screen, you're wasting a lot of time. What do you do when the creative juices aren't flowing? I find it best to just recenter with some of my inspirations and why I make content in the first place. So I'll watch a lot of movies, and then I'll take to YouTube and Twitch and watch some of my favorite creators, and I feel like that kind of sparks it back up again usually for me. How do you deal with burnout? Short, frequent breaks are gonna help avoid burnout altogether, and by short I mean like take a day where you don't create anything and you just hang out with your friends, or you just lay in bed and watch Netflix all day. Just something where you're kind of unplugged and you're not worried about content. How do you edit? With my mouse and my keyboard. What software do you use to edit? This was by far the most asked question. I use Adobe Premiere. Do you play Valorant? I guess you could say I play it. What is your Valorant rank? Boosted Silver 1 currently. Who do you main in Valorant? When Yoru came out, I've pretty much played him every game since. How do you aim so well at that Killjoy on Split? Oh, we got a comedian. I guess roll the clip.
Our spike carrier is dead. I'm so bad! I'm so bad!
You should run. What the fuck? How?
Are you a sick Killjoy like Keeoh? Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I edit for a Killjoy Radiant, man. Why would I not be a sick Killjoy?
Up top heaven.
I spelled my turret the wrong way, I'm throwing.
What other games do you play? I really like Minecraft, Among Us, Call of Duty. I really like puzzle games and indie games and these weird, like, kind of shorter story games. I can't usually get into games like Cyberpunk where it's just like a super huge storyline. What's your favorite game of all time? This is a tough question because there are a lot of really great games, especially nostalgic ones from my childhood, but I think just from the sheer amount of playtime and how I'm still playing it to this day, I have to give it to Minecraft for me personally, I think. Where do you live? Southern Colorado. What is Control M? Simply and nerdily enough, is the keyboard shortcut in Premiere to export, and we always stay exporting. How much are editors usually paid? I can't really speak for like averages or anything like that. I can say that what I've charged has been steep for a lot of creators. Is it worth my time? Is it worth the content creator's time and money? Just charge what you think you are worth. If you're getting absolutely no clients, you probably need to charge less. If you're getting absolutely yes every single time, you probably need to raise your rates. Does Keeoh underpay me? No. How much do you charge, or how do you price your editing services for streamers? I'm basically boiling it down to I want to make X amount of dollars minimum hourly when it all breaks it down, but I usually charge per video. How do you get clients to edit for? Most of my clients, editing wise, in content creation have come from Twitter actually. Go to TweetDeck, add a search column for looking for editor, add a search column for editor. That is how I found a lot of my gigs. That's how I met Keeoh, is on Twitter. He tweeted looking for an editor. There will be more on that soon though. What is the process for editing a Keeoh video like? So basically he streams it. Most of the time he also uses what are called stream markers, where he places little markers across the stream so that I don't have to go through say 6 hours. I can now just take say 50 markers and break it down into now I only have about an hour of footage that I have to actually watch through. So I basically take those markers, put them all in a timeline, and then cut the video from there. It's pretty self-explanatory from there, I think. How do you find your style with editing? What kind of content creators you're watching and looking at and seeing what you like and what you don't like, and you kind of pool all of that together to find your style. What is the most important thing about editing for YouTube? So I will say that pacing is the most important thing. You're gonna have to stay tuned to a different video where I'm gonna talk all about pacing. When a video doesn't perform as well as you hoped, how do you identify what to change in the next one? It's actually usually really difficult to figure out why people aren't watching a video or why a video didn't perform well. So basically what I do and what we do with Keeoh is just roll it off the shoulder and make sure the next video is better in every way possible that we can control. Does Keeoh keep you in the basement? No. No. Blink twice if you need help. What is the best quality an editor can have? Probably like 4K. I wouldn't say there's really any need to go higher quality than that, but honestly 1080p is still fine for YouTube. How did you get into editing? I wanted to make montages like I saw FaZe and other clans doing, so I had to start learning how to edit. What are some of your favorite projects? Absolutely, without a doubt, my favorite projects I've ever worked on are the short films and music videos I've worked on. Why doesn't she want me? Well, if I knew that, I probably wouldn't be single, so. Favorite music artist? A couple of my favorite artists are Half Alive, Louis the Child, Chelsea Cutler, Quinn92. Are you single? Yeah. Are your DMs open? Yeah. What is your favorite movie? I will give you 3 of my favorite movies. That'd be Pulp Fiction, Moonrise Kingdom, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Who's your favorite director? So once again, I will give you my top 3. So Quentin Tarantino, Edgar Wright, and Wes Anderson. Paper or plastic? What do you need to stream? A computer? What are your thoughts on DMCA? Personally, on my Twitch channel, I follow the DMCA guidelines. Copyright law is copyright law as it stands right now. Maybe it needs to change. I'm not the person to say that. Where do you get music for videos and streams? For my stream, I have a Monster Cat Gold subscription. I think it's like $5 a month. Mostly for my videos, I have a subscription to MusicBed. How do you have cameras all over your house? A combination of really long cables and network feeds using NDI technology. Why do you have cameras all over your house? Basically just to push my content and see what is possible. What is your favorite content to film? Without a doubt, music videos are my favorite content to film. They're just so creatively open and you can do so much. What is the piece of content you are currently most proud of? It is probably the short film Hurt People Guy. If you haven't, check it out. What does your 10-year plan look like now? I would say my 3 to 4 year plan is definitely to full send content as much as possible with me and my friends and see what I can make happen. Now that I have this opportunity to actually do it, I'm not gonna waste it. I'm gonna take full advantage of it. And hopefully you see that reflected in this YouTube channel starting right now. What about editing makes you want to open Premiere the next day and start a new edit? I just really like the process of it, and every time I start a new project, it's like a blank canvas, and I get my paintbrush of all my different tools and presets and everything, and I get to make a new piece of artwork. Even if that's a Valorant gameplay video, you might not think of that as artwork, but every edit, in my opinion, is a new canvas, and you can do so much with it with your different colors and brushes, and this analogy's kind of falling apart. Is your glass half full or half empty? I don't know if I really need to answer this question. I feel like it's pretty obvious that I am a very optimistic person, and so my glass, it's 3/4 full. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Based on my personality online and how I interact with my stream and my content, you might think I'm an extroverted person, but I am quite the opposite. I am very introverted, but I have just grown comfortable to what this medium is of creating content. And I'm very thankful to have that outlet to be able to interact in a big social way without getting ridiculous social anxiety. What is your favorite fast food chain? Definitely Taco Bell. No shot. Follow for follow? No. Is this 2016? Do you drink? I'm a 24-year-old bachelor living by himself. Yeah, I drink. What is your favorite cocktail? I don't know if I have a favorite cocktail, but my favorite spirit is definitely gin, and I'm constantly trying to find new cocktails to make with gin, and so once I find that, I'll let you know. Do you smoke the Levels Deadis? I mean, I do live in Colorado, so from time to time I indulge. Do you have an editor? Yes, actually. Slushy helps me a lot with especially this second channel that I'm about to spin up, and then I edit the main videos like this. Shout out to Slushy, go follow him on Twitch. 69, nice. Why do you have an editor? Especially before I went full-time creation, it was sort of a necessity if I wanted to maintain any sort of consistent content. And now I'm gonna keep him on board just so that I can excel my content as much as possible. And I also feel there's big value in somebody else editing your content. Of course, that's not for everybody. You don't necessarily need an editor at all. Who is Alka? His name is Jacob. He's one of my best friends. You've probably seen him around on Twitch if you're anywhere on Twitch. He is a developer. He's a great After Effects user. He dabbles in basically everything creative, and he helps me a ton. Is Alka a bot? Yes, but also no. What does Alka do for you? I mean, what doesn't he do for me? Between developing things for my stream to helping my friends in content creation, all the way to helping me learn After Effects and giving me really good critique on some of my edits, but he also makes a lot of my thumbnails. Follow him on Twitch. Mac or PC? Definitely PC. I have a Mac and I used to use it a lot in college, and I still think Macs are pretty much the best laptops, but you can't beat a PC in my opinion. Do you have any hobbies? Most of my hobbies are stuff like photography and video and editing and basically what I do for a living. My biggest hobby that I actually have that's a real hobby is music production. Drown? No. Come to my Twitch stream and get 100,000 channel points though. Can you edit a backflip green screen montage where he just infinitely spins? Yeah, I think I can do that. Would you rather just edit or just do production? I think if I really had the choice, when it really boils down to it, I would rather work on set in production over just editing. I personally like doing both, but if I had the choice, I definitely prefer shooting. Who are your inspirations? I have a ton of inspirations, from content creators to directors of not only films, but also some music video directors like Cole Bennett, filmmakers like Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, to like full-on YouTubers like Cody Ko and Noel Miller, like Johnny Vito. Alka's a huge inspiration. Keeoh is definitely a big inspiration as well. I feel like we're inspired by everything around us all the time. Who is your biggest inspiration in the content creation space and why? So this might sound weird, but it's definitely Cody Ko. I just really like his content. I think he does a really good job, and the way he's diversified everything he does from having a very, very successful podcast to a good music career potential to his YouTube channels. Both of them do really well. He even streams occasionally. I think he's done a lot of things really well, and I really, really enjoy his content. If you could pick one content creator to work with from any platform, who would it be and why? I think this is gonna go back to the Tiny Meat Gang guys, Noel and Cody. I think it'd be awesome to work with them. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just have a man crush on them or something. Are you gay? What? Why do you care? What's your favorite book? Book. B-O-O-K. Book. What does a day in the life of Avery look like at the moment? So right now, I wake up, take a shower, and then come across the hall and spend like 12 hours in here. Lately, it's been a lot of planning and getting things ready to go like completely full send into my own content. And then also I've been editing for Keeoh, obviously. If you guys want a more in-depth, like real day in the life, I might do one. Boxers or briefs? I actually wear boxer briefs. What car do you drive? Subaru Forester, and her name is Susie, and she's awesome. Do you even lift, bro? I mean, I lift like gear. That's pretty heavy sometimes. You cycle? I haven't been so focused on cycling in the last year or so, but I'm about to pick it up and start training for a race. What are your cycling goals? So I just mentioned I'm training for a race. That race is in April. It is gonna be my first criterium race, which is basically a lap race. Are you a morning person? Absolutely not. And let me tell you, it's nice not having to be at work at 9. What software do you recommend to a beginner? Whatever software you can get your hands on. Don't necessarily pay for a software right off the bat. Is there any good free editing software? While I have not necessarily tried it to its fullest extent, I've heard really good things about DaVinci Resolve. Tips for new editors about mindset while editing. Keep your mind on the bigger picture and the end result, and know that everything you're doing while you're editing is progressing you to that end point, even if it seems small. What is the best way to learn to edit? I've heard a lot of really good things about websites like Skillshare or Masterclass. Those really weren't around when I was learning to edit, so I mostly stuck to editing a lot of stuff. I also took a couple classes in my college, and I know a lot of high schools offer some editing courses, so that's a path as well. But honestly, the best tool is the one you're watching this on right now. YouTube has a ton of very free, very great resources for learning how to edit. Do you recommend editing for other creators? Yeah, I think it's a really good experience, even if you don't end up pursuing it as a full-time endeavor. I think it's a really good learning experience to see how other content creators think about their content and the way they portray their content and stuff. You get a really deep dive into somebody else's content when you edit for them, and I think that's invaluable, and I've learned so much from working with other creators. Not to mention that it is a potential full-time path to content creation. I want to become a content creator. Where should I start? You should start by just making some content and not worrying about if this is gonna get views or if this is gonna blah, 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 blah. Make some content, see if you even like it at all. Then go from there. What is the biggest thing you've learned in content creation? I think the biggest thing I've learned is that I need to make videos that I enjoy making and I enjoy. If I can't sit through and watch an entire video when it's done, even 2-3 times over, it's not a good video. Because if I don't wanna watch my own video, and if I don't want to share it with my friends, then why would anybody else want to watch it? How did you get so handsome? Oh my God, you noticed? Stop. Was that really 100 questions? Yeah, it was. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have further questions or you want to see more in-depth videos about any of the actual topics that I talked about, leave it in the comments. If you have additional questions, leave them in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. Also, join our Discord community. I'm trying to get a lot more video editors and content creator type people in there to start sharing a lot of ideas and critique each other and whatnot. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Until then, as always, do the right thing, good vibes only, and never stop creating. Peace.